Who's heard of the Xerces butterfly? Who's heard of the monarch butterfly? Well, you probably haven't heard of the Xerces butterfly because they've been extinct for the last 75 years. However, the monarch butterfly is one of the most recognizable butterflies we have today. Unfortunately, the monarch butterfly is seeing a drastic decrease in their population and could be heading toward extinction as well. According to the New York Times on January 9, 2019, the western monarch butterfly population is only 0.5% of what it was in the 1980s. And there's a 78% chance that they could be extinct in the next 20 years unless we do something about it. Today, I want to talk about the possible extinction of the western monarch butterfly and how it would impact our ecosystem. In my presentation, I'm going to discuss the population decline of the western monarch butterfly. Then I'll talk about one of the main causes for their decline. And finally, I'll explain how it affects our ecosystem and suggest a way that we can prevent their extinction. According to the San Francisco Chronicle on January 16, 2019, the western monarch butterfly is a migratory insect that spends the winter months in California, and in the spring and summer months, they migrate north as far as Canada. During their migration, they stop along the way to pollinate flowers and to lay eggs on milkweed. The new generation of butterflies join the migration north, also stopping to pollinate flowers and lay their own eggs. In the fall months, they make their way back down to California, and this is where their numbers are counted. According to CNN on January 7, 2019, there were at least 4.5 million monarch butterflies in California in the 1980s. That number dropped to 1 million in 1997, 148,000 in 2017, and in 2018, there was only 21,000. That's an 86% decrease in just 1 year. In a 2017 study done by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, they calculated that the point of no return for the western monarch butterfly would come when their population hit 30,000. Today, we're below that number. And if their calculations are correct, then we have an ecological crisis on our hands. Now that you know about their population decline, let me talk about one of the main causes for their decline. In any population decline, there's many causes that contribute to the problem. For the monarch butterfly, the main cause would be herbicides and pesticides used by farmers nationwide. According to the National Geographic on March 5, 2019, about 94% of soybeans and 89% of corn grown in the U.S. is genetically modified to resist herbicides. That means that farmers can spray their fields with powerful chemicals to eliminate plants and weeds without affecting their crops. One of the plants that has been nearly eradicated by this practice is the once common milkweed, the only plant that monarch butterflies lay their eggs on. According to the Associated Press on September 15, 2018, cropland milkweed produces 4 times as many monarchs as milkweed in other areas. This means that if cropland milkweed is being eradicated, then this would have a big impact on the monarch population. Now that you know about one of the main causes for the decline, let me explain how it affects our ecosystem and suggest a way that we could prevent their extinction. According to the National Park Service website on June 5, 2017, monarch butterflies, and butterflies in general, are indicators of a healthy environment and a healthy ecosystem. Monarch butterflies are also pollinators, much like bees. Without monarch butterflies, we would see a drop in wildflowers that we see today. Monarch butterflies are also an important element in the food chain. They serve as food for birds, small animals, and other insects. So how do we help the monarch butterfly? Well, according to Newsweek on January 26, 2019, if cropland milkweed is being eradicated, then there needs to be more milkweed planted in other areas to provide habitat for the monarch butterfly. According to the National Wildlife Federation website on February 10, 2015, the #1 thing that we could and should do as individuals is plant milkweed in our yards and gardens. Milkweed acts as a magnet for the monarch butterfly. and planting native milkweed will not only provide much needed habitat for the monarch butterfly, but it will also bring the beauty of butterflies to your yards and gardens. As you can see, the extinction of the monarch butterfly would have a big impact on our ecosystem. In my presentation, I talked about the population decline of the western monarch butterfly. Then I talked about one of the main causes for the decline, and finally I explained how it affects our ecosystem and suggested a way that we could prevent their extinction. The loss of any species weakens the ecosystem that all species rely on to survive, including us. Humans have been the cause of most, if not all, recent species extinctions. But in the case of the monarch butterfly, we could prevent their extinction by making simple changes and choices in our yards and gardens, and by sharing this information with everyone you know. Thank you.